7, TJ Jackson. Tight end, number 9, Isaiah Laguardia. Fullback, number 11, Keone Kemsick. Wide receiver, number 15, Dominique McDonald. The left guard, number 51, Sosaiue Taumoyenga. Right tackle, number 52, Nathan Horsey. Left tackle, number 53, Francis Kalamafoni. The center, number 75, Alex Smith. And the right guard, number 78, Sakini Atiki. The head coach of the Roughriders is Ryan McCants. He's assisted by Rasuli Webster, Shay Dean, Anthony Stoudemire, Joshua Bradford, Sosa Aye Fotu Tawaho, Willie Williams, Najee Patrick, and PJ Marcello. And now the defensive starters for the Ida B. Wells Trojans. Linebacker number 5, Cole Thomas. Linebacker number 6, Eddie Kudel. Defensive back number 11, Jaden Brannon. Linebacker number 13, Cyrus Tendick. Linebacker number 15, Tom White. Defensive back number 21, Davis Dufort. Linebacker number 22, Saul Tendick. Linebacker number 23, Marcellus Griffiths. Linebacker number 32, Harley Dodge. Defensive line number 50, Logan Label. And defensive line number 58, Anders Kozarts. The Trojans are coached by Keith Bennett. He's assisted by Ryan Cedarstrom, Weston Groff, Robbie Scharf, Greg Denise, Tyler Lively, Ulysses Vargas, Michael Warren, and Brian Heike. Officiating today, the referee Stephen Frost. The umpire, Steve Fodder. Head linesman, Mark Monson. Line judge, Terry D. Howell. And the back judge, Ryan Hay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Wilson High School for Game 2 of our PIL doubleheader here today on Oregon Sports Beat. I'm Shane Downey, joined by Dave Hall. And Dave, it's gotten a little chillier here this evening in Southwest Portland, but we're ready to play ball here again.
How could it have gotten any chillier?
It was already a little cold here this afternoon, but what's a few more degrees of a drop?
And Shane mentioned this is the second half of a doubleheader. The first game was a win for the Jefferson Democrats, 13-0 over the Lincoln Cardinal. Tonight's matchup, Roosevelt Roughriders and the Wilson Trojans.
So Wilson on their home field
Roughriders to receive.
choose to defer after winning the toss, so the Roughriders will start on offense to get this game underway. Wilson in those white jerseys with green numbers on their backs, white helmets up top. Meanwhile, you see Roosevelt on the far side of the field with the black jerseys and yellow numbers.
First game of the season for both of these teams. Wilson next week will play Madison here, and Roosevelt will play Grant. This is kind of a homecoming for me. My first 2 years working with Oregon Sports Beat, I covered the Trojans in all of their games. So It's good to be back here at Wilson.
Just a moment from getting underway. Dave, why don't you give the audience an idea of what this abbreviated season looks like for these teams?
Well, here's the way this is going to work. Each team will play 5 games. Well, actually, each team is going to play 6 games this season. 5 games are on the schedule. At the end of those 5 games, then the teams will have an ability to kind of match up in what would be like a bowl game format. In other words, they're anticipating that maybe the winner of the PIL would play the winner of the Metro. And we're looking out in the field. This is kind of a unusual situation. Both teams lined up at the wrong end.
Yeah, we know these teams didn't get a lot of practice time. And what do you know? The first time they're on the field, they line up on the wrong side. But looks like the referees got it squared away, and we're just about ready for some football. You know, usually we're used to Friday night lights. The lights are on now. Not quite dark yet. Do have some dark clouds to our right. Hopefully the skies stay clear. But it is Saturday night lights here this evening in March.
First game we did was the most penalized game I've ever seen.
End over end, caddy corner, and we see a flag on the first kick as that lands out of bounds into a member of the coaching staff for Wilson.
I don't think that was a flag. I think that was just signifying the ball went out.
That's right.
Balls get kicked out of bounds. Roughriders ball on the 35.
So they've spotted at the 35, and the Roughriders will get started moving left to right on offense. We expect Amarian Kelly to be the starting quarterback for the Roughriders. He's number 1.
Kelly, a junior.
Lindell Betts, one of their star players, the running back in the backfield. He gets the pitch here, but is immediately under pressure, but kicks it out, stays on his feet, but still a loss on the play from Lindell Betts.
I watched during warm-ups. I watched both teams. I was looking for players that looked really good during warm-ups. And for the Roosevelt Roughriders, their wide receiver, number 7, T.J. Jackson, the senior. He looked very good in warm-ups.
T.J. Jackson, one of just a few seniors on this team. They have more than we saw earlier from Lincoln.
We saw 5.
Yeah.
5 for Lincoln.
I think Roosevelt's closer to about 10. It's probably about average in the PIL. Here's another ball on the ground, but Wilson showing strong defense here on the first 2 plays. And Roosevelt not going in the right direction.
A couple of names you're going to recognize on the coaching staff for Roosevelt. Of course, their head coach is Ryan McCants, and one of the assistant coaches is Anthony Stoudemire.
So now 3rd and long, 3rd and about 15 for the Roughriders on their first offensive possession of the season.
Black and gold, the color for the Roughriders.
Receiver on the near side wasn't covered at the line of scrimmage, but the quarterback's under pressure, and he's going to be sacked.
Quarterback sack, Eddie Juno.
That was number 5 of the defense. Or excuse me, it might have been number 6 based on the PA announcer.
Fourth down and 27. Early on in the first matchup today, both teams had trouble punting the ball. Looks like number 77 is the punter.
Well, it's the first game of the season, and what do you know? First possession, there's no 77 on our roster, so
okay.
If we mislabel any of the young men out there, we do apologize. But here's the kick, and it's a good one. Gets it to just shy of midfield, takes a bounce, it's on the ground, and Roosevelt may have recovered.
The ball went off the receiver's hands, bounced on the ground, and Roosevelt has recovered.
So it's funny because after a punt and recovering the punt, you could see the down markers on the sideline. It's going to be their possession, and they're going to reset it at first down. It's just a little amusing to me that they still were a yard shy of that first down marker.
I think the ball was recovered by number 9, Isaiah Laguardia.
LaGuardia also a starter on offense. Able to make a play on special teams. High snap, handoff, kicks it outside, but once again, Wilson showing strong run defense here early on. A couple minutes already off the clock. We're just underway here in the first quarter, no score between the Roosevelt Roughriders and the Wilson Trojans. We are at Wilson High School. Earlier today, the Jefferson Democrats were the home team against the Lincoln Cardinals. Keep it on the ground yet again, kicking it outside for positive yardage this time across midfield. And we have a penalty on the near side away from the play. You see number 5 coming onto the field.
No, I'm not following that because the linesman over here on this side of the field threw a flag.
I think, are they going to call a penalty on number 5 being too close to the sideline? That's the only thing I can think of. He was right there.
Was he on the field before the other play ended?
That's, I don't know. Well, we'll see what the call is.
I think they may, no, the referees are actually still talking.
Number 5 is Cole Thomas.
And that's what the call is going to be. They're going to mark off a penalty against Wilson, 5 yards, and it's for having, I believe, too many men on the field. No, wait a minute.
Unsportsmanlike conduct is the official call.
Okay,
So I think it was just a coincidence that player was coming onto the field right where we saw the flag, but
what was he unsportsmanlike conduct?
And it was a judge that was away from the players. So
right.
I don't know. A little bizarre, but here, keeping the theme of our first game, lots of penalties here early on. And another stop to run. That time, the Roughriders number 11 was the ball carrier. They're signaling that they got the ball, but I think it was down. Yeah, it's Roosevelt's ball. Rakemsick with his first carry of the game for Roosevelt.
Keone Rakemsick, another one of the seniors on the Rough Rider roster.
No score here early on, 2nd down, and about 4 to go. Or excuse me, 14.
Shane and I are still debating whether this is the 2020 or 2021 season.
Well, presumably there's going to be a 2021 season in the fall,
right?
But maybe there could be 2. All right, that was Rakemsick yet again, and Wilson showing excellent defense here early on. Roosevelt might need to go into their playbook and think of something else.
Very stout on defense. With head coach McCants, the Rough Riders are very likely to want to establish a running game early.
And despite the field position, Roosevelt hasn't really gotten anything going here early on offense. It was a muffed punt that they managed to recover. High snap, quarterback keeper, finds a hole, but still way short of the first down. Just about a 2-yard gain. And Amarion Kelly
with the stop brings up 4th down.
After the Thomas tackle, it'll be 4th down from the 35-yard line.
Number 5, Cole Thomas on defense, all over the field early. Plays tight end on offense, linebacker on defense.
You may be able to hear the near sideline of Wilson. Very vocal here early on, and you have to imagine both the students and the coaching staff have been eager to get back out on the field. Here's the snap, looking to his left. They do throw this time. Some contact over the middle, and there is a flag. It's incomplete.
I believe it's going to be defensive pass interference.
It was almost like a pick play over the middle. It is pass interference on the defense.
Pass interference on the Trojans.
So despite Roosevelt's offense not looking excellent early on, they're moving the ball.
Exactly. And using up time on the clock, and we're now about almost 6 minutes into the first quarter.
Yeah, this pace certainly a lot different than that first game we had earlier today.
And they'll move the chains, first down.
So first down, spotted right outside the red zone. Marion Kelly awaits the snap, claps his hands, has it, throws to his right, has a completion there up near the first down marker.
Kelly's pass complete to T.J. Jackson.
Should be just about the 10 yards needed to T.J. Jackson.
Cole Thomas defending.
That's number 7, another senior on the Roughriders.
That's the player I was watching in the warm-ups. They look very good.
Second down.
It is second down. Maybe a foot to go. So Roosevelt marching down the field now on the near hash in those black jerseys. Fakes the handoff, quarterback under pressure, flag in the backfield, throw is incomplete.
Kelly's pass incomplete.
I think it's going to be a hold on the offense.
It
and
is
there it
immediately called. Well, the referee wasting no time to signal that call.
Exactly. It happened right in front of the quarterback as he pulled the ball down and looked forward. Referee was looking right at him to begin with, and that's where the hold occurred. So the Roughriders go from 2nd and 1 to, let's see where they spot this, 2nd and about 15.
Back to the 29-yard line.
Second and 19.
Kelly in the shotgun. Looking left under pressure, evades the tackle. Now he's going to take it himself across the 25, now 20, inside the 15, 10, 5, tackled near the end zone, but looks to be short.
Kelly on the keeper.
And a great block on the outside that time by number 7, T.J. Jackson. Freed Kelly up for about that last 10 yards.
Yeah, we've seen some evasive quarterbacks here today at Wilson High School. And Amarion Kelly really made something out of nothing. He was under pressure early and gets it all the way down to about the 1-yard line.
Fair, the quarterback for Jefferson, looked very good today.
About 4.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. No score, but the Roughriders threatening. First and goal. Kelly with the snap. Tries to keep it, but he's tackled for a loss.
Quarterback sack. Number 13, Cyrus Tendick.
A sack by the Trojans.
Cyrus Tendick on the sack, number 13.
So Wilson, it would really be a testament. Their defense has been on the field for a long time now.
A long time.
Would be a great goal line stand here. Of course, it's just second down, but that was nice to give them a little breathing room as they back up the ball to the 5-yard line.
Second and goal.
Quarterback's going to throw into the end zone, in the corner, has a man, but he's out of bounds.
Ran the fade pattern, but got out of bounds.
T.J. Jackson made the grab, but couldn't keep the feet in. And it's an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and goal. Offensive players have to be a little antsy for Wilson to get on the field, although several of those players are probably playing defense right now. So it's going to be a long day for them. High snap, looks to his left, has a man. It's caught. Touchdown. Number 17, Jackson Flatner makes the grab, turns the corner, and gets in for the score. It's 6-0 with 3:23 on the clock here in the first quarter. Roosevelt takes the early lead.
Flatner, number 17, with the reception. 3:23 left to go in the first quarter for the score.
In to kick the extra point is our mystery man, number 77. We saw him kick the punt that Roosevelt was able to recover and allowed them to continue this drive. It's dropped by the holder who picks it up. Now he's trying to get in, but they will not get 2 points on the board. That was TJ Jackson, the holder.
The try is unsuccessful.
So no additional points on the board. It will remain 6-0.
Roosevelt 6.
Well, interesting start to this game. Certainly a little bit different of a vibe thus far, Dave. We did see a few flags there early on, perhaps some rush showing. As we explained previously, these teams haven't had a lot of practice time. For a long time, we weren't sure if this season was going to happen. We joked, is this 2020 or 2021 season? But either way, these teams are going to get the 5 games in the regular season with 1 additional game when all things are said and done.
Think about it. 2 weeks ago, these teams didn't know if they were going to play at all. Then it snowed after they found out they were going to play. Now here we are, and the teams are trying to put together sharp execution on offense and defense with very little practice.
Definitely a tough task at hand for everyone involved. We do want to thank you for joining us here on Oregon Sports Beat. We know a lot of you watching at home would have loved to be here in person. I hope you're staying warm indoors. We will be bringing you lots more PIL action here throughout the season.
I might trade with some of those people sitting at home.
You know, we talked earlier about the baseball season last year and what kind of differences we expect this year, but a lot of broadcasters weren't traveling with the team. So home broadcast, well, let's say a team travels on the road, their home broadcaster is just broadcasting from monitors, either in a studio or from home or wherever it may be. It's a very, very different environment to do something like that, as opposed to seeing the sights and the sounds right in front of you.
That's how baseball started, was broadcasters doing games on the ticker tape.
Here's a return across the 40, up near the 45.
Hayden Brandon on the return.
Brandon on the return. And we'll get to see the Wilson Trojan offense for the first time. 12-minute quarters here. And Roosevelt ate up about 9 of that here in the first quarter on their first offensive possession.
Exactly.
Before the game, we got the defensive starters for Wilson, but we're not privy to the offensive starters.
Well, it looks like the quarterback
and
is
number 12, and he hands the ball off across the 40, tackled at the 35. It was Jaden Brannon with the carry.
That's another Trojans first
Brannon,
down.
a senior. By the way, number 12, Parker Feldgore, the quarterback, he is a sophomore.
Yeah, so not a lot of experience, presumably, for that young man.
Timeout, Trojan.
Timeout called here early by the Trojans and their head coach, Keith Bennett. So 2:50 on the clock, 6-0, but Trojans on offense, 1 play, they managed to move the chains. You'd think starting the football season in March, maybe it'd be a little warmer than our normal start time. We've certainly had some frigid evenings late into the fall.
.250 left to go here in the first quarter. That was about a 9-minute possession by the Roughriders. Well, they actually had a possession and then punted and then recovered the fumble. So they continuously had possession for about 9 minutes, turned it into 6 points.
Parker Feld-Gore, we mentioned the quarterback starting for the Wilson Trojans.
You know, it's been a long time since I looked down at the team and saw a split T offense.
3 running backs in the backfield. Hand it off to, well, it's a big gain. Can't quite tell who the ball carrier was. We're going to find out right now. Yeah, Johnson with the carry.
You know, I grew up watching Ohio State football. This looks like the 1950s Buckeyes. Look at that. Split T formation. Left halfback, fullback, right halfback, quarterback up under center. I like it.
Definitely a unique look overall.
You know, the evolution of football, you started out this way, then you went to the wishbone formation.
Xander Samuelson.
That was up to the 15-yard line. Xander Samuelson.
Second down.
Listed as a wide receiver, but
Francis
all these previous plays
right,
playing out of the backfield.
He's been lining up at the left halfback, number 85 there.
You see 85, 6, and 11, all of those options. This one goes to 11 inside the 10.
Brandon on the carry.
Jaden Brannon with the carry.
McDonald and others in on the stop.
And they're doing a very good job. Wilson is running this offense.
Anytime it's difficult for us to pick up the ball carrier from the rear view, imagine what it's like for the defense when they have all those options and the ball could go to anyone. And there's a flag at the line of scrimmage. This looks to be going against Roosevelt.
This is a tribute to power football. Lineup with 3 backs, 2 tight ends, quarterback.
Move it a little bit closer.
We'll move the ball closer.
It's 1st and goal, half the distance to the goal on the penalty based on where the ball started. Now at about the 4-yard line. Here's the snap. Handoff to 85. No, he's not the ball carrier.
You see, if you got a quarterback
who's
got some ability to kind of fake those handoffs inside, this can be very difficult to figure out who's got the ball, and that time it was the fullback again.
Yeah, what we're seeing is Kunal, who's number 6, Jaden Brannon, number 11, and then Samuelson, 85. That's the trio we've seen thus far, and all of those are potential options for the quarterback to hand off to. And he doesn't get rid of the ball that time and is taken down for a loss.
Itiki strips the ball. Turnover.
And that's a strip and a recovery for the Roughriders.
Roughriders do gain possession. I initially thought he was down before the ball came out, but incorrect. And the Roughriders able to pounce on it. And what a goal line stand for them, as Wilson was moving down the field and was 4 yards away from scoring on 1st down, and instead coughed the ball up. And Roosevelt, with 55 seconds remaining here in the 1st quarter and a 6-0 lead, we'll see what they can do, marching down a good chunk of field themselves.
Unfortunate for the Trojans, they were moving the ball well, right on the verge of scoring, and a strip and a fumble recovery.
Quarterback has the snap, fakes the handoff, takes it himself, outside to the left. That's going to be a 1st down up to the 25. Marion Kelly, he's already shown off his wheels on one big play. He'll get 10 yards there. We have a flag after the play. Now another one flies in.
Penalty markers now.
We've got a timeout on the field. Timeout.
So the penalties.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, personal fouls against both the Roughriders and the Trojans. Those penalties offset.
The penalties do indeed offset.
Timeout, Trojans.
As there was personal fouls on both teams.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on both teams.
And the Trojans take a timeout. I believe their second timeout of the game so far, with 47 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Thanks again for joining us here on Oregon Sports Beat. I'm Shane Downey, joined by Dave Hall, bringing you Wilson Trojans football, taking on the Roosevelt Roughriders. Hear the referees talking amongst themselves, perhaps concerned about the Wilson head coach on the field prior to a timeout being called. That's Keith Bennett. You can also hear the unsportsmanlike penalties or unsportsmanlike conduct penalties after the fact. Some jabbering perhaps on the field.
Coach,
they want to clean that up real quick.
Coach Bennett was yelling at his players, you don't talk back, you walk away.
Marion Kelly in the shotgun position. 1st and 10 from the 40. Handoff, 21, a short gain.
Maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Jadis Battles, the junior, with the carry. Looks like he got 1 yard.
White with the stop for the Trojans. Gain of a couple yards, second down.
Maybe 2.
I count 6 freshmen on the Roosevelt roster.
Second and 8. And a whistle before the snap. Dead play. What's the call here? We talked about the pace being so quick here early on, but lots of penalties in the last minute or so.
I thought the call might have been offsides on Wilson, but let's see what the call is. The linesman preliminarily indicated Wilson offsides. Offside Wilson. There
it is in fact encroachment on the Trojans. That will move the ball 5 yards. On that play that was blown dead, Davis Duford of the defense came up with the ball. He's wishing that one counted.
This will be the last play of the first quarter.
2nd and 4. Going to pass it and throw it deep over the middle. Lots of bodies, lots of traffic there in the middle of the field, but falls incomplete. Ryder, the intended receiver.
Well, not the last
We're going to get one more play.
2 seconds left.
On 3rd down, upcoming. Third and 4. And Wilson has played excellent defense thus far. We'll see if they can come up with a stop here.
I was just thinking the same thing myself. Trojans have looked good on defense.
Another pass. And that falls incomplete. That will end the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter.
6-0 in favor of the Roughriders over the Wilson Trojans. When we come back for the second, we'll see if the Roughriders decide to go for it on 4th down despite being in their own territory.
We'll see you here.
Well,
upcoming schedule for these teams. The Roughriders will play host to Grant next week. Meanwhile, the Wilson Trojans will stay right here to take on Madison. Games being played on Saturday this season for the PIL.
If you look at those schedules, you'll see 5 games on the list, all against PIL opponents. Then the 6th game will be, leagues will kind of match up and play, and it's what they hope is like the best teams in the best leagues that win will play each other in kind of like a bowl game. And then maybe the other teams as they line up will play the other league's teams in those same positions. So everybody will get 6 games in.
"12 minutes on the clock to start here in the second quarter."
4th down for the Roughriders.
4th down for the Roughriders, and they bring on their punt team.
We've switched sides. Roughriders will move from our right to our left.
Number 77 in to kick. Line drive, takes a bounce across the 20, now inside the 10. And a nice punt that will be stopped at the 4-yard line.
Very nice punt.
The 3-yard line, 1st and 10, Trojan.
About a 50-yard net on the punt.
Only score of the game so far, that 5-yard touchdown pass from Kelly to Flatner, that coming at 3:23 of the first quarter.
So now we'll see what the Wilson offense can do if they can respond. They were moving the ball well on their first possession before a turnover. Out around the outside edge, outside the numbers, tripped up near the first down marker.
Dufort on the carry.
Is number 21, that's Davis Dufort.
Shoestring tackle. He would have got to the outside on that
8
sweep.
yards on the carry brings out 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the carry for Dufort.
2nd and 2 upcoming.
Trojans will stay in the T formation.
Have a stoppage here. Number 41, it looks like, exiting the field. Might just be 4, actually.
It is 4. That's somebody we don't have a number for. Could have been 41 then, could have been Eric Marquez.
Yeah, it might have been 41 there. Another handoff. Nowhere to go that time. And we have some more extracurriculars.
Number 7, Jackson,
on the carry.
got tied up that time with Cole Thomas on the outside.
Several Roughriders in on the tackle.
They were right, the referee was standing right next to him, so they had to kind of break it up.
Off to the outside edge, stays on his feet, across for the first down. Once again, that's Dufort with the carry. But we do have a flag, and it's on the offense. So this one's coming back.
Against the Trojans.
Holding on the Trojans, going to bring this one back. Dufort had the first down.
The wind continues to blow in. If you could pick up that American flag in the camera shot, you could see, and I'm sure you could hear as well from our microphones,
it was
picking up that breeze.
It was 3rd and 4, it's now 3rd and 14.
Long way to go for the Wilson offense after that penalty. See them kneeling down and then standing up collectively, looking to the sideline. Another handoff, but not much room to work with at all. And it is 4th down with Roosevelt, or excuse me, with Wilson pinned deep in their own territory.
Juno on the carry.
4th and long.
He's stuffed at the line, brings up 4th down.
So it is now 4th and 14. The punter will be back in the end zone.
Looks like the offense is staying on the field. Quarterback's under center. This is dangerous.
Not sure what's going on here.
They're going to run an offensive play. They're going to get some yards, but not nearly enough.
Jaden Brennan on the carry.
So Roosevelt's going to take over on downs in tremendous field position.
Well, now let's hold on a second.
That's a turnover on downs. Roughriders ball.
It is. I'm a little baffled.
So if you're a Roosevelt fan, you got to be thrilled. They have excellent field position now.
It was 4th and 14, and it was at the 5-yard line. Trojans went for it, came up short. Now there's a flag in the middle of all this.
A very late flag.
I'm not sure that has anything to do with the previous play.
It's a delay of game against Roosevelt. So they were in no rush to
game penalty.
Get the snap
The
off.
Roughriders.
Right, they weren't even up at the line of scrimmage on that. I don't think they realized the clock was running. The time clock was running.
So a little sloppiness thus far.
And now some more confusion.
Okay, they find the appropriate spot for the ball.
Well, and they didn't have a ball on the field. They had to get one from the sideline.
Now there's 2.
Now
So
oops. Okay.
They're swapping them.
Okay, there we go. There's the whistle.
There's the whistle. Let's go. Low snap. Fakes the handoff. Quarterback keeper. Gets to the outside. Knocked out of bounds.
Marion Kelly on the carry.
Marion Kelly.
Cole Thomas with the
About
tackle.
5 yards on the carry. Up to the 10-yard line.
2nd down.
Will be 2nd down and 5, maybe 6. Marion Kelly awaits the snap from the shotgun. Looks to his left, airs it out, has a man, it's caught and in for the score. Jackson Flatner with his second touchdown of the game. And the Roughriders add 6 more points to the board.
That is a 14-yard touchdown pass from Kelly to Flatner. Their second time they've hooked up for a score.
Yeah, we haven't seen Roosevelt throw the ball all that much until they get to that red zone spot.
Timeout, Roughriders.
That coming at 9:19 left to go here in the first half. 12-0. Let's see if the Roughriders go for 2 here.
Timeout called by Roosevelt. They were attempting a kick on the first point after attempt, but a botched hold led to a 2-point attempt that they did not convert.
And that was T.J. Jackson. They snapped the ball high. He tried to pull it down and run it and didn't score. Let's see if he's still the holder on this play. Number 7. He is. Well, he's lining up a wide receiver. Looks like they're going for 2.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for 2 here, try to make it a 14-point game.
Kelly wide to the right, Flatner wide to the left.
Marion Kelly awaits the snap. Now the running back swaps sides. Looks to his left. That's where Flatner is. Now coming across the middle, and it's off his left hand. Incomplete.
The try is unsuccessful.
12-0. The score remains here with 9:19 remaining here in the second quarter. Wilson trailing after failing to convert on 4th and long in their own territory, and Roosevelt making quick work on offense to get more points on the board. Clouds above with the sun setting to our right as the wind chill continues to move along the field. The lights are on here at Wilson High School. You may see a few fans on the outside of the fencing outside of the stadium, but we do have the pleasure of bringing you this broadcast despite no fans being allowed in the stands. Roosevelt here to kick off from the 40. Line drive, end over end kick is picked up there at the 19. Running inside the numbers is number 85. He's taken down at the 35-yard line. That's Xander Samuelson with a 16-yard return. It'll be 1st and 10 for Wilson.
Let me tell you an interesting situation going on. We have our crowd mics, and they're picking up the Wilson coaches down on the field, but directly behind us are the Roosevelt assistant coaches that are up in the press box yelling, and we're getting input from both of the coaching staffs on what's going on each play.
Trying to give you all the sights and sounds here at Wilson High School. Triple backs. This time it goes to number 21. He gets to the far side of the field, but unable to turn the corner. Roosevelt makes a good defensive stop on Davis Dufort.
McDonald brings him down for a short loss, 2nd down.
And movement up front. I think this is going against Wilson.
12-0 our score. Roosevelt leads on 2 touchdown passes from Marion Kelly to Jackson Flatner.
5-yard penalty remains, 2nd down.
After the 5-yard penalty, 2nd and 15 now for the Trojans, moving left to right in those white jerseys with green numbers. Here's a pass caught across the middle, now to the 45, 1st down across midfield. They mark it down right at midfield. That pass goes to number 5, Cole Thomas.
He had a nice run after catch.
About 20 yards on the catch and run.
By Micah Ryder. That's another Trojans 1st down.
Trojans get the 1st down. They spot the ball right there at midfield on the near hash mark below the W logo.
That was a well-designed play, underneath pass to Cole Thomas.
Under pressure, gets the ball out, but incomplete.
Gore's pass intended for Cole Thomas, incomplete.
Shane, that had to be a busted play, because as the quarterback turned around, he looking to hand the ball off to somebody, and there was nobody there.
One thing interesting, you see number 11 there, Jaden Brannon, wearing a black helmet. Doesn't quite match.
Over his helmet.
You could be right about that.
5 yards.
Another false start penalty. Yeah, not sure on that one.
Yeah, I can't make that out for sure. We'll have to see when he gets closer over here.
Second down. Handoff goes to Brannon. No, it doesn't. He keeps the ball and taken down in the backfield.
Eddie Kuhn, the ball carrier.
Here's was Cunel who ended up with the ball on that
Several
play.
Roughriders in on the stop. Brings up third down.
So Wilson had no trouble moving the ball in that first possession and then ended up turning it over, and ever since then they've really struggled.
T formation.
Feldgore under center, little soft toss is caught there. Across the 45, we see a flag on the play. Gets up to the 44 to Samuelson.
And there is a flag down.
Waiting for the official call here.
Samuelson comes off the field after that catch.
Blindside block called against the Trojans.
We saw this in the first game we did today. The call, it's a personal foul, it's a blindside block.
So that'll back the ball up significantly. You have a helicopter up above. All the way back to the 32-yard line, third and very long here. Quarterback under center, has the snap. Under pressure in the backfield, gets to the outside, pulled down from behind is number 25. That's Roland Griffiths.
That play slow to develop and allowed the defender to catch up to Griffith.
Like a rider brings him down.
Fourth and about 20, about 30 almost.
We've seen them go for it on fourth and long despite this part of the field. Well, they were pinned even deeper previously. So it seems to me if Wilson's going to do that, they're going to go for it on fourth down regardless of what their field position is.
Thomas checks back in.
25 Griffiths heads to the sideline.
Trojans.
And Trojans call another timeout with 6:37 remaining here in the first half. So Dave, what do you think the Trojans need to do here on offense? We saw things working there initially, but Roosevelt has really stepped up their defensive game.
You know, for a team that hasn't seen a T formation, you may not have practiced much against that on defense, and it took the Roughriders a bit to adjust, but they certainly have adjusted now.
It will be interesting to see how teams adjust to a shorter schedule. And of course, they're going to try to get videotape on each of their opponents prior to those matchups.
Fourth and almost 30, and the Trojans are going to go for it.
Fourth and long. There's a snap and another handoff. No, they soft toss it. It's incomplete, and another turnover on downs for Roosevelt.
Incomplete. Turnover on downs, first down, Rough
Who will
Riders.
start in Wilson territory with 6:34 remaining here in the second quarter. First down for Roosevelt. Marion Kelly, the quarterback in the shotgun. Has the snap, drops back, looks over the middle, airs it out, has his man caught inside the 10. Touchdown!
Flatner
Marion
again.
Kelly's pass is complete
Flatner.
to Jackson Flatner. Touchdown.
3 touchdowns
Roughriders.
in this game. And Roosevelt all of a sudden starting to run away with things.
34 yards on the completion. Kelly to Flatner, the third time they've connected.
Flatner looking like a star of this offense thus far. 3 touchdowns here in the first half.
You can recap the scoring pretty easily. Kelly to Flatner, Kelly to Flatner, Kelly to Flatner.
They have failed to score after a touchdown on their previous 2 attempts. See what happens here. It looks like nothing doing.
The run failed.
Make it 0 for 3.
Keone Rakemsick on the
Score
carry.
will remain
Stop score.
18-0
Try is unsuccessful.
after 3 touchdowns, but no
Roughriders 18,
points after.
Trojans 0.
$18 to nothing. Our score is 6:28 left in the first half. Roosevelt leads Wilson.
Dave, is it just me or did it drop about 20 degrees in the last 5 minutes?
30.
We appreciate you watching wherever that may be. Here's the kick from number 77. Line drive, end over end. Caught there at about the 15-yard line. Running outside the numbers now on the near side. 40, 50 across midfield, knocked out of bounds. Near midfield as he spun
Brennan
around
on the return.
is Brennan.
That's a good one. He's brought down by Mahdi Ali.
Yes, and he has a different colored helmet on.
Yeah,
First down, Trojan.
have to wonder about that. Were they short
Right.
one or what's the deal?
Well, I don't know. There's a white
Is there
helmet
any
laying
special designation?
there.
Yeah, I do see one on the sideline.
You know, some teams actually do that too. They have, you know, hero helmets, but this is the first game of the season.
I'm sure there's a reason for it. We're not privy to that information. Here's a handoff. Number 6 has it, gets to the outside, but once again, good defense by Roosevelt.
Eddie
Holds
Jewell on
him
the carry.
to about 3 yards.
Eddie Kienel on the carry.
You know, part about that trio
3 yards
in the
on carry.
backfield for Wilson.
Brings up second down.
Second and 8. They pull it back, complete the pass,
course,
but
pass
it's just
complete.
another short
Jay
gain
Brannon.
to Brannon.
Like a rider defending.
It'll be 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
Couple yards. Brings up 3rd and about 6.
Parker Feldgore under center. Just a sophomore being tested here in game 1 of this season. Trailing 18-0. Runs into his own man, hangs onto the ball. Here's a pass that is caught.
Gore's
short
pass
of the
complete.
first down.
One-handed catch, Cole Thomas.
Cole Thomas able to haul it in. It was on his fingertips. He pulls it back into the body and is about 2 yards short of the first down. And they're going to go for it on 4th down. No surprise there.
That was the tip drill working to its finest.
Fourth and 2. Last couple attempts for Wilson. They've attempted to go for it on 4th and have failed to convert. Lots of traffic in the backfield, and they're going to be stopped. Wilson unable to convert yet again.
The backfield that time looked like bumper cars. They were not quite sure who was going where.
You know, you had down I-5 South over to Bullwinkles. I don't think they have bumper cars there, though. So Roosevelt will take over on their own 42-yard line, going right to left from the near hash mark.
Got to look and see where Flatner is.
Yeah, Flatner has been the star of the show thus far. Here's a handoff, and he's going to be tackled for a loss, so a nice play by the Wilson defense. And we said early in the game, Wilson's defense was excellent at stopping the run based on what we saw early on. And then Roosevelt adjusted their game plan, started putting it in the air, and it led to 3 touchdowns. But there they try to keep it on the ground, and we see what happens. 5-yard loss. Pitch. Near side run, gets outside the numbers, but tackled for a short gain.
Lindell Betts on the carry. Cole Thomas defending. 3rd down.
3rd and long now for Roosevelt. And we know Roosevelt, if they're unable to convert here, likely to punt based on what we've seen thus far. But Wilson, on the other hand, looks to be going for it regardless of what the situation might be. Little confusion on offense for Roosevelt.
TJ Jackson gets to the outside quickly.
And we have a whistle.
My guess is took too long. Referee steps forward, gives a signal. No, offside.
Offside's on the offense.
Offsides against the Roughriders.
That'll back him up 5
5
yards.
Remains 3rd down.
3rd and long just became 3rd and longer. Four receivers, 2 split on each side, and that's incomplete. Overthrown.
Intended for TJ Jackson.
And Jackson is down for a moment, but thankfully gets up. Fourth down, and we'll see the punt team come onto the field for Roosevelt. Punt upcoming for Roosevelt. We have a flag. Takes a bounce at the 39. Goes out of bounds.
At the 39-yard line, but there is a penalty marker on the field.
That flag was thrown behind the punter, and the referee was looking at the interior line.
for the call.
Illegal participation on the Trojans.
You know, we mentioned earlier today, Dave, that they were testing us here in week 1 on different penalties. Illegal participation here in this one.
Too many men on the field.
We've seen it all.
Or a substitute was coming off and didn't get off in time. Or
So that's a 5-yard penalty after the kick.
it'll be Trojan ball. But it'll back it up 5 yards.
So Trojans will start at their own 43-yard line, going left to right in those white jerseys, green pants, green numbers. 1st and 10. Handoff, room to work, up to the 50, across midfield, close to the first down marker. Looks like he got 9 yards on the carry.
Elaine Yao on the stop.
So 2nd down and short now.
2nd and short.
The ball is loose there early on.
Fumble on the play.
Wilson falls on it.
Parker Feld-Gore recovers for the Trojans. 3rd down.
Trouble on the exchange, but the quarterback fell on the ball.
So 3rd down, looks like they lost a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2. Look to the sideline for the play call. Now back under center. It's going to keep it. Oh, the ball's loose again. It's picked up by Wilson. They're going to get the 1st down, I think. Let's see where they spot it.
Fumble on the play.
That was picked up by a lineman, I
Yeah,
believe.
you can see line judges. They're about a yard apart on both sides of the field. One is signaling 4th down. The other one's signaling 1st down.
It looks to me like it is a
Yeah,
first
okay,
down.
they do move it up. I think that's the right spot. I think this is going to be a fortunate 1st down for Wilson because the ball has gotten down a few times. I'm surprised they're not measuring here. From my point of view, this is a 1st down.
Mine too.
Oh, yeah, now they're signaling to move the chains.
Check that. That's another Trojans 1st down.
First down for Wilson. But once again, they did get fortunate on that play to end up with the ball, much less get the 1st down. Delayed handoff. Finds a hole up the middle. Inside the 40 now.
And Brannon on the carry.
That'll be 2nd and about 2 after an 8-yard carry by Brannon.
Powers it down about 8 yards. Brings up 2nd down.
2nd and 2, 1:15 left to go, first half.
Handoff to Brannon. Gets the 1st down.
Brannon on the carry again.
Up to the 31-yard line. So Wilson
on the stop.
looking
That's
good on
another
offense
Trojans
here in this
1st
possession.
down.
Brannon, the right halfback in the T formation, he's got 2 other backs blocking in front of him.
Still have plenty of time here with just over a minute remaining on the clock. Another handoff for
Brannon
good yardage.
on the carry.
Brannon again up to the 26, it looks like.
Kenny Atiki and others in on the stop.
3 straight carries for Brannon.
They're going to throw, have a man wide open, 5-yard line, that's for the pylon. He is in for the touchdown.
That's a Trojans touchdown.
Number 21 with the reception, Davis Dufort gets the Trojans on the board for 6 points. With 33 seconds remaining here in the first half. Dufort was pumped up after that one. Now, generally, when a team doesn't punt, regardless of the situation, it leads me to believe they're never going to kick after a touchdown as well. And we see that here. Handoff goes to the outside, and he's in for the score.
That's 2 points.
Jaden Brannon converts on the 2-point attempt.
Trojans 8. Roughriders
And it's
18.
a 10-point game, 18-8 in favor of Roosevelt. But
Yeah.
Wilson has to feel good getting on the board.
Think about that. 3 times Roosevelt has gone for a 2-point conversion, not converted, so they got 6 points on each touchdown. Wilson just got 8 on that touchdown and conversion, almost cut the lead in half. (18-8) our score.
So let's see what Roosevelt can do.
Jack White set to kick for the Trojans.
With just 33 seconds on the clock, White will be in to kick for the Trojans. We actually haven't seen a Trojan kick so far this game.
On that last series, they ran Brannon on sweep plays to the left 3 times and came back then on a pass to the right for the score.
Here's the kickoff.
Maybe that's why we haven't seen a kick.
We see a flag after that initial tackle.
Kaden Higgins
Unusual tackle because the tackler just kind of pushed the ball carrier back instead of trying to tackle
Yeah,
him.
didn't wrap up at all. And honestly, that kick, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but in any scenario where they wanted to go for an onside kick, that would have looked pretty good.
Right. Wonder what the call is here. It had something to do with the tackle.
Yeah, the flag came out right after that initial contact.
The referee has given a couple of signals, but nothing final.
And the players are ready to play on the field.
Still no signal from the referee.
So yeah, I heard the referee talking to the Wilson sideline. I heard a delay of game, but I think there was a second penalty, and they're offsetting. They haven't announced it. I'm just trying to go off listening based on what our crowd mics are picking up. Well, now they're moving it out to midfield.
First down, Roughriders on the 50.
Huh.
All right, we'll have to sort that one out later because I'm not sure.
Well, either way, 32 seconds, and the Roughriders are going to have good field position to start, considering the clock. So the referees are explaining the penalty. We mentioned delay of game, but there was clearly a secondary penalty, which is what they're explaining right now, regarding the young man who caught the kick. And they're saying he had to have full possession before you can make contact, but I think he had full possession, and that's what Wilson is arguing. So I think that's what that flag was.
All right, they've got to sort it out, and I think you're right on that.
All right, 1st and 10 from midfield. Roosevelt will have to work against the clock. Pitch in the backfield. Gets it across the line of scrimmage for about 4 yards on the carry. And Roosevelt immediately calls the timeout.
Brings up 2nd down.
Lindell Betts on the carry that time.
So what was a very quick first quarter in this game, the pace slowed down considerably here in the 2nd quarter. And if Roosevelt's going to keep the ball on the ground, well, they're going to need to call timeouts.
Coach is out.
24 seconds remaining. 2nd and 6. Quarterback drops back, rolls right, looks downfield, has a completion.
Kelly's pass complete to number 7, DJ Jackson.
And Jackson gets out of bounds to stop the clock at 18 seconds. First down. Deep pass over the middle, and
Kelly's pass intended
incomplete.
for Micah Ryder. Broken up, incomplete. 2nd down.
So 2nd down, still 13 seconds. So they'll have another couple chances if they want to throw downfield. But the problem is if you make a catch and then get tackled, the half is most likely going to be over. Seconds. Quarterback awaits the snap in the shotgun. 3-step drop. Now rolling to right. Stays on his feet. Trying to make something out of this. And he's going down the sideline. Time expires. And he's knocked out of bounds.
Marion Kelly on the keeper.
Marion Kelly
pushed out of bounds. And that's halftime.
Making it interesting.
Trojans 8. Roughriders 18.
There to end the first half, but that will do it here in the first half, 18-8 in favor of the Roosevelt Roughriders over the Wilson Trojans. We do ask that you stick around for second half action here this evening at Wilson High School. Dave, what are your impressions of that first half?
Well, it was 6-0 at the end of the first quarter on a Kelly to Flatner pass, and then in the second quarter, 2 more of those got the Roughriders out to an 18-0 lead. They missed all 3 extra points, but Kelly to Flatner for 3 touchdowns. And then the Trojans come back on a 21-yard touchdown pass from Feldgore to Dufort, and that coming with 33 seconds left to go in the half. The point after touchdown, the 2-yard run by Brannon cut the lead to 18-8. Trojans are still in this game.
All right, we are going to step aside for a few minutes, about 15 for halftime here at Wilson High School, but stick around. We'll be bringing you all the second half action here on Oregon Sports Beat in just a moment. Welcome back. We're just a few minutes away from second half action here at Wilson High School, where tonight the Wilson Trojans are playing host to the Roosevelt Roughriders. I'm Shane Downey, joined by Dave Hall here on Oregon Sports Beat. And Dave, it's an 18-8 score, but we chatted a little bit at halftime, and Wilson may be trailing by 10 points, but I think they still have a shot at this one.
You know, those three touchdown passes from Kelly to Flatner are the difference in this game so far. Other than that, the Trojans have played pretty well on defense.
Yeah, they've done an excellent job stopping the run for the most part, and it's that stopping that passing game that has been difficult for the Trojans. The Trojans will start with the ball in the second half, and for Roosevelt, they've scored 3 times but have failed to score any points after those touchdowns. So we'll have to wait and see to determine if that proves to be costly or not. Meanwhile, for Wilson, one thing we've noticed throughout the first half is doesn't seem like there's any scenario where they're going to punt. I know we were a little befuddled initially when they went for it on 4th and long inside their own 10-yard line. They did not convert. That turned into easy Roosevelt points. And then another time, I think it was closer to around the 30, similar situation. And then Roosevelt scored on their first offensive play after the turnover on downs. So it stands within reason. The Wilson defense has played pretty well, but when you start out with that field position, it's going to be tough to stop the opposition.
You know, I've been doing games for a long time, and that might be the first time I've ever seen a team on their own 5-yard line, 4th and 15, and not punt the ball.
So that's one interesting thing thus far that we noticed. Wilson will be going for it. It's 4-down territory no matter where you are.
Right.
The whole field. So just about a minute away now from the third quarter. Wilson looking to come back in the second half.
Here on the frozen tundra of Wilson Field.
Yeah, for those of you at home, whether you're local to the Portland area or not, it might look like a nice evening. There is some clouds above, but it's certainly kept dry, but it is quite chilly, and the breeze is really what adds to that. The wind chill not helping us out here in the stands.
Before I left home today, I turned the thermostat down. When I get home,
it's going back up.
It's going way up.
I'm right there with you. I didn't have mine turned on at all.
You're a Southern California boy.
I am.
I
am not afraid to admit that I am a wimp when it comes to the cold.
I don't understand. I grew up in Ohio, and it's cold and snowy in the winter, but I'm cold now.
All right, here's the kick from number 77. We wish we had that young man's name, but there's no 77 on our roster. Picked up at the 25 and taken up to the 40, about a 17-yard run back on the kickoff. And Wilson will start at the 42, going left to right, 1st and 10.
Roosevelt celebrating their 115th year as a high school this year, founded in 1906.
So
Did
Roosevelt,
I say Wilson? I meant Roosevelt.
Wilson, we see that tri-wing offense, and here's about a 5-yard gain to start things out for us here in the third quarter.
The Buckeyes of the 50s ran that the T formation, and they used to call it 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
It was Samuelson with the carry. Samuelson, the highest number on the roster, number 85. Here's the snap. Another handoff. And that's going to be a 1st down and more. Across midfield.
That's another Trojan.
And up to the 44-yard line.
You know,
That's Jaden Brannon. You might notice he has the dark helmet, the black helmet, where everyone else on the Trojans wearing white.
Roughriders were out to an 18-point lead. Wilson could score here and get another 2-point conversion and cut this game down to 2 points. Not that I'm saying a field goal could win it for them, because they haven't kicked anything yet.
We have seen them kick a kickoff after scoring that touchdown, and it looked almost like an onside kick, but never can be certain. Quarterback under center. Pulls up, looks to the sideline for the offensive play call. And then we see movement on the offense. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty
Ball
against
start
Wilson.
On the Trojans. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That'll back it up 5 yards.
Back to the 49-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15. Quarterback under center, waits the snap, has it now. Handoff, coming around the inside edge, up to the 41-yard line. About 9 yards on the carry.
Shane, I want you
there's
to.
a player down.
Cole Thomas on
The
the
next
carry.
offensive play, I want you to watch down
Like a
here
rider
on
on
the
the
left
stop.
side of the Trojan bench. They have 2 coaches who are signaling in plays, giving opposite hand signals. Many teams do that. That's so the other team can't figure out what your hand signals are. So you have 2 different coaches sending in the play by hand signals.
We have a Wilson player down with the trainers and referees huddled around. Can't quite pick up who that player is just yet. If you're just joining us, 18-8, Roosevelt leading with 11 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. Player down for the Trojans.
Direction back behind that line. You got to stay behind the line because this is the coach's line now. Behind that line. But if you want to scream some stuff out to him, you can do that. Because that guy's doing it. So I'm going to let you do that. Hey, let's go, David. Come down here. Get him on the other side of the number. Up here, guys. Come on the top of the number. Do one.
Never want to see this, but the player is down and looks to be in some pain.
Both teams, as usual, have went off to the side to leave plenty of room for the player, the trainer, and the coaches.
Thank you for joining us this evening here on Oregon Sports Beat, as we bring you the Wilson Trojans and the Roosevelt Roughriders here on this chilly Saturday evening here from Portland, Oregon.
By the way, we cover all kinds of sports on Oregon Sports Beat. We are your high school sports leader. If you want to follow our schedule, go to OregonSportsBeat.com. Next week, I know Monday night we have a Central Catholic volleyball game. We have soccer games coming up from Delta Park on Tuesday and Thursday. And then we'll have football again next Friday night with Central Catholic and Saturday with Lincoln at Gresham. So go to OregonSportsBeat.com for those schedules and the start times on all those games. The player is up.
That player is Kaden Higgins, a junior, and clearly walking gingerly with some assistance, but at least able to put some weight on that right leg, which seems to be the cause for concern. And when a player is down for that long, you never know
Exactly.
how serious the injury might be.
He's actually able to put some pressure on that leg.
Exactly. So that's a good sign. Not saying he's out of the woods by any means, but all right, back to the field for second down. Handoff to number 11, who gets outside the numbers, now running inside the 20, 10, 5, touchdown!
42
Jaden
yards.
That's
Brennan.
another Trojans touchdown!
42 yards on the carry that time. Touchdown for
Brandon.
Brannon.
So Brandon
44 yards on the carry.
really turned on the Jets once he got to that far sideline and able to clear the defenders and get in for the score. Now just a 4-point game, and we expect the Trojans to go for 2.
If you remember on the last series of downs, they featured Brannon.
Here's a pass on the near side, and it's caught.
Elgor's pass
2
complete.
more points. That's
The damage
Dufort.
That's another 2 points for the Trojans.
Dufort has the touchdown reception and now 2-point conversion, and it is in fact a 2-point game. So despite the fact that Roosevelt has scored an additional touchdown, we've got ourselves a very close ball game here tonight.
What did we say when we ended the first half? Wilson could win this game.
Absolutely. Now it's looking even more possible.
18-16 our score, 16 straight points for the Trojans. Cuts the lead to 2.
Trojans to kick off. So remember when I said I wasn't sure if the onside kick was intentional? Now I'm convinced that is an intentional onside kick, and they're just going to do that each time.
I'm convinced too, and that barely went 10 yards.
It really did.
Penalty marker on the field.
And now we have a player down for Roosevelt on that special teams play.
Roughriders will have great field position to start, but that's 2 straight kicks, and like Shane, I'm convinced that those were both intentional short kicks.
Kick, catch, interference against the Trojans.
So they're calling a
15-yard
penalty on the Trojans for interference.
Well, the defender was right down on top of that and must have hit the reception man before the ball got there.
Yeah, it needs to either go 10 yards or the ball gets touched first before any other contact is made. And we have a player down for Roosevelt. I believe that's Dominique McDonald, number 15.
I think he's going to get up.
It is, in fact, McDonald. He's going to walk off on his own power. You'd love to see that. So they're going to march off the penalty yardage.
15-yarder.
So all of a sudden, Roosevelt has good field position yet again. With 10:49 on the clock here in the third quarter. Quarterback keeper finds a hole up the middle, stretches the right arm up to the 35-yard line, 5 yards on the carry.
Cole Thomas on the stop, 5 yards on the run, brings up second down.
Marion Kelly with the quarterback keeper. He advances the ball to 2nd and 5.
Clock is stopped. I'm not quite sure why.
I was wondering the same thing. I keep looking over, waiting for it to start, and it hasn't. Now it's going. Takes the snap, throw to the far side, incomplete.
Kelly's pass broken up by the Trojan defense. 3rd down.
Officially dark skies above. The lights putting in their work now here at Wilson High School.
Well, there's a reason the skies are dark. It's night. Tonight's forecast, dark.
Pass over the middle is tipped and incomplete.
Kelly's pass broken up.
Almost
Thomas.
picked off by
Thomas
Cole Thomas.
got his mitt on it and knocks it down. And we'll see what Roosevelt decides to do here on 4th down. I don't think the clock ran at all on that last play. We know the pace is slow already, but it doesn't help if the clock isn't running.
Exactly. 4th and 5.
They're going to go for it on 4th down. Kelly takes the snap, looking over the middle, now rolling right. Airs it out and caught there on the sideline. Did he stay in bounds? No. It's an incomplete pass, and it's a turnover on downs.
Kelly under big pressure from Thomas.
Was out of
got
bounds.
rid of the ball. TJ Jackson on the outside caught it, but out of bounds.
1st down, Trojan.
So a nice defensive stand by the Wilson Trojans, who after the penalty gave Roosevelt possession at their own 40-yard line. And they were only able to advance the ball 5 yards before turning the ball over on downs. So now Wilson will take over on their 35.
We have another player down. This is the 3rd player that's been down in the last minute.
Player for Roosevelt. Shane Downey and Dave Hall bringing you the action here on Oregon Sports Beat.
That player is going to get up too. Is that number 50 for Wilson? It is number 50, and that's Logan Laybold. And I think he's holding his right arm.
You see 55 on the sideline, still on the bench there. He was the player that was down a few minutes ago with a apparent left leg injury.
Kaden Higgins.
Handoff. Unable
Jason Brandon on the carry.
to have any room to work was Brannon.
You know, out
Derek
of the last
Marquez on
out of the
stop.
last 6 running plays, 5 of them have gone to Brannon.
Yeah, Brannon has been busy tonight. And he's easy to spot with that dark helmet, number 11. Here's the snap. Another run up the middle for a short yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 5 upcoming from the 40-yard line.
Eddie Kunal on the carry for the Trojans.
Kunal gets the carry that time.
Picks up 7 or 8, brings up 3rd down.
Wilson looking to the sideline. You mentioned the 2 different coaches hand signaling. And no room at all that time. Pushed back for a loss.
Eddie Kunal on the carry.
Sakini Itiki on the stop.
And we know what we're going to see here on 4th down. No doubt about it, they'll be going for it. Trailing by 2, 8:43 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. And another stoppage on the field with another player down.
Talking about having the 2 coaches signal in plays, and that's to try to prevent the other team from figuring out what your signals are. And sometimes they rotate, you know, one of those will be the official color for one play, the other like for 1st down, the other for the 2nd down, you know, and they'll rotate that around so the other team can't figure out what the signals actually are.
Another stoppage here at Wilson High School, bringing you 2nd half action between the Wilson Trojans and Roosevelt Roughriders. That's number 52 of the Roughriders, who is going to limp off under his own power. That's Nathan Horsey.
Shane, when we're done tonight, we're likely to put in an 8-hour day.
Yeah, it's been a long one, that's for sure.
We covered the first game of this doubleheader, a 13-0 win for Jefferson over Lincoln.
Quarterback drops back, looks over the middle, and overthrown.
Moore's pass intended for Dufort, incomplete.
Dufort, the intended receiver. We've seen him catch a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here tonight. He has been the popular target as they turn the ball over on downs. So the ball has stayed at the same part of the field for the last few minutes despite a couple turnovers.
Couple of possession changes, and the ball hasn't basically moved from the same spot.
Exactly. And not much time off the clock either. So there was a penalty on that last play, an ineligible receiver downfield. But it was declined, and now it'll be 1st and 10 for the Roughriders. And we have a last-second swap, and now a timeout called by Roosevelt.
Roughriders were making personnel changes and just were not set to start that play.
8:35 remaining here in the third quarter after a timeout by the Roosevelt Roughriders. You know, you mentioned earlier in the day, Dave, that some, if not most, baseball teams will be having fans in the stands on day one. Personally, I'm not going to try to go on day one, even though I will actually have an opportunity to. But my point is, I never really bothered to look at the baseball schedule until just the other day, because I hadn't thought to myself that I'd really have an opportunity to. So we'll see how that plays out.
Well, that's interesting, because I was looking at the schedule the other day.
That was number 21,
Battles
Battles with the carry
Roughriders.
for a short gain.
Cole Thomas with the tackle for the Trojans. Second down.
So I was thinking, I'm actually going to be moving to Southern California soon. What are the stadiums that I could potentially drive to that I haven't already been to? I've been to all the Southern California stadiums, but I have not seen a game in Arizona.
The reason I was looking at the schedule, my daughter is going to the Oakland A's game with Boston on July the 3rd.
Okay. Should be a good one. Probably some fireworks.
It's her birthday then.
There's a flag. Another penalty.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
You know, living in the Portland area, I would usually drive to Seattle once or twice a
down.
season for maybe a weekend series, get a hotel or an Airbnb. And honestly, Southern California to Phoenix is just about the same drive, so could do something similar.
I went to Seattle last year and stayed at an Airbnb. I rode the train up and back.
All right. That's one way to do it. Low snap.
Again.
Handoff. Stays on his feet despite two defenders right there and gets stood up at the
Battles on the
35-yard line. Stays on his feet. Battles gets up to the 33. Nice carry by that young man.
And there have been a number of low snaps
He's pushed out of bounds.
for the Roughriders today.
At the 34.
It'll be third down.
33 brings up third down. for the
3
Roughriders.
yards to go. After Battles was knocked out of bounds. Kelly has the snap. Handoff. Battles falls short.
Battles on the carry.
So it'll be 4th and 2. And once again, the ball hasn't moved from this 10-yard
Lowe's on the stop.
range, regardless of who has had possession of the ball
4th and short.
This has been a day
in
filled.
about 5 minutes of game time.
This has been a day filled with teams going for it on 4th down.
Oh, yeah. No different here. Kelly awaits the snap. 3-receiver set. Pulls it back. He's going to keep it himself. And the ball is loose. Let's see who got it. He did get enough for the first down, but did he recover is the question.
Kelly on the keeper. Fumble on the play. Recovered by the Roughriders. First down.
And the Roughriders do indeed recover, and it will move the chains. 1st and 10.
You know, Kelly was hit at the end of the play, dropped the ball, it bounced right back up, and he got it back in his hands and got the first down.
Has the snap under pressure, throws over the middle, and it's caught and taken down
Kelly's pass complete.
inside the 5-yard line.
DJ Roseman.
DJ Roseman, number 5, with the
Looking at
grab.
first down for the
The
Roughriders.
junior, I believe, his first catch of the game.
It is. And we've got a player down back at the 40-yard line.
Yep, lots of whistles as they... We saw one injury in our first game. We've seen a number of players down here just in the last few minutes.
Exactly. 6:26 left to go in the third. 18-16, Roosevelt leads Wilson.
We want to thank you once again for joining us here on Oregon Sports Beat, bringing you Wilson and Roosevelt High School football here this evening. I know, Dave, a number of things coming up on the schedule.
Monday night, Central Catholic volleyball. Tuesday night, Central Catholic soccer at Delta Park. Thursday night, Central Catholic soccer at Delta Park. Friday night, it'll be the Central Catholic Rams football game. And Saturday night, it will be Lincoln and Gresham at Gresham.
So first and goal for the Roughriders, who have a 2-point lead and are looking to add on.
Go to OregonSportsBeat.com and you'll see those postings for all of our events and the scheduled times.
Now it sounds like we're at a monster truck rally all of a sudden. A snap and a flag.
Quarterback
This is a
dropped
dead
the
play.
ball.
Flag on the play.
There was a bad exchange between the center and the quarterback. And the quarterback was yelling to the sidelines, "Hey, we need a receiver." Can you give me another player in the game? I don't want to go with 10.
So the penalty was on Wilson and just moves the ball ever so closely to the goal line. First and goal. Quarterback under center. He's going to try to keep it and runs into a wall of defenders. And that's going to be a
Kelly on the keeper.
slight loss.
The Trojan
Mike
defense
Kelly.
is strong.
Second down.
Five minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Kelly in the shotgun now.
And there's a whistle and a flag in the end zone.
This one's going against Roosevelt. As they're backing up.
Delay of game.
Delay of game. We don't have the benefit of a play clock. The players are given a warning on the field, but unable to get the play off in time. So that does give the Wilson defense some breathing room. Another high snap, and the quarterback immediately under pressure, and he's going to be taken down for a
Quarterback
big loss.
sacked by that strong Trojan defense.
The defense converging together, and what was once first and goal from,
The
quite
one-
frankly, inches,
Now the 15.
is
Brings
now
up third
third
down for the
and
Rough
goal
Riders.
from the 15.
Great defensive effort by the Trojans.
What a turnaround. It's actually spotted, looks like the 16. Quarterback under pressure immediately again, but evades the tackle and now finds a hole on the near side. Dives forward. He's going to come up short.
Kelly
We
on
have a
the
flag
keeper.
at the end of the play.
Cole Thomas on the stop.
Kelly has showed off with his feet throughout the game
Flag
so
on the
far. Cole Thomas in on the tackle, and we see a flag late, which could be a personal foul penalty.
You have to give credit to Kelly, Imran Kelly. He has fielded all the low snaps and all the high snaps.
Targeting on the Trojans.
They're going to call that targeting. The quarterback wasn't giving himself up at any point.
We'll see who this call is actually on, but it's a targeting call.
It was against the Trojans, so. So back to 3rd and goal, just outside the goal line. And more whistles. Just haven't been able to get into a rhythm in this game, it feels like.
Now the referees are talking about whatever the situation is. Now it looks like we're ready to get started.
No, they're going to reconvene.
Well, there was a targeting call.
And then we got another stoppage. Third and goal. High snap, it's loose. Wilson has a chance at it, and it scoops up, running it back, 40, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Wilson has the lead.
Scooped up the fumble! Touchdown, Trojan!
After I just bragged about Kelly fielding all the snaps, that one went over his head, picked up by the Trojans, and ran 85 yards back for a touchdown.
That's an 85-yard return.
Roland Griffiths, I believe,
Number 25.
was the player who ran it all the way back. You can see he's trying to catch his breath right about now. The defender gave up on it at about the 15-yard line.
That coming at 3:32 of the third, and the Trojans have their first lead.
Trojans take the lead with 3:32 here in the third quarter.
Well,
Personal foul against the white team. Touchdown's good.
there's a personal foul on the Trojans.
Personal foul
And
assessed against
I
the
suspect that
Trojans.
has something to do with
Touchdown stands.
celebration on the bench. The touchdown is good. 22-18, our score, Trojans lead.
Yeah, I'm not sure I follow the penalty, but nonetheless it'll be assessed after the play. Touchdown counts, and Wilson likely to go for 2 to make it a 6-point ball game.
I think the call is unsportsmanlike conduct, and I think it's a celebration penalty.
.332 remaining. They needed a ball, and now they have it.
Trojans now have run off 22 straight points after giving up 18 straight to start the game.
Everybody looking to the sidelines.
We haven't had a whistle to start the action. The referees are over talking to the Rough Rider coaches.
Yeah, not sure what the holdup is here.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to assess a 15-yard penalty
On the kickoff.
on the kickoff.
That's what I think they were explaining. So here we go for the extra point. Trojans are going to go for 2.
They will, in fact, go for 2. They've been successful. Here's a handoff, and in easily is number 11, Jaden Brannon. Add 2 more points on the board. And, well, I'll tell you, one thing is going well for Wilson here tonight. Not only are they leading 24-18, but they're 3 for 3 when going for 2 after scores.
Think of that. They're 3 for 3. Roosevelt is 0 for 3. And that's the difference in the game right now. Those 6 points on 3 2-point conversions. (24-18), Wilson leads. 24 straight points for the Trojans.
Previous penalty is being enforced on the kickoff here.
So they will
Trojans will kick.
add the 15-yard penalty with 3.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. And we've seen onside kick attempts. Well, they're going to kick deep this time, which makes sense after the penalty.
Kick goes out of bounds, penalty. Roosevelt will take over.
So this ball will be spotted at the 29-yard line, it looks like. Roosevelt will be moving right to left, now trailing for the first time in the ballgame.
Well, now remember, they haven't spotted the ball yet. The ball went out of bounds. There is a penalty for kicking the ball out of bounds. Roosevelt's going to back the Trojans up and make them kick it again.
Re-kick.
Let's try it one more time.
Rough Riders should get pretty good field position out of this, because the Trojans are going to be kicking off from the 30-yard line. Well, it's clear now they have the ability to kick at the ball deep. They're going to try to kick it as deep as they can.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still not quite ready. I don't know that I've ever worked a game quite like the pace of this one.
I'm pretty sure I haven't. This is wretched. Waiting for the whistle.
Just about ready to go.
Well, apparently the referees didn't mark off that 5 yards there. 10 yards, I'm sorry, 10 yards. which means the Trojans now will be kicking off from the 20. So assessing the penalty from
the 30-yard line didn't make sense to me. So now we're back to the 20.
That takes into account the personal foul. That takes into account the penalty for kicking out of bounds.
And they do kick deep. So they're certainly able to. Right at the 31, it's picked up there. Gets across midfield on the run back, stays on his feet, spins, 40, and finally dragged out inside the 38 by Amarion Kelly, the quarterback showing off his wheels on special teams.
White on the tackle.
So kicked off from the 20, Roosevelt returned it to the 38, and there's a flag down.
At this point, I'd be surprised if there's not a flag after a play. Have an illegal block on the back against Roosevelt.
Block in the back on the Roughriders.
This is the football game which wouldn't end.
Do we have a curfew here?
Right.
There's got to be.
We may be in violation of the curfew.
First down for the Roughriders.
What time do the lights go off?
On the 28.
So we back things up quite a bit after the block in the back penalty.
It's from the spot of the foul. The spot of the foul is 43. Back it up 15. Roughriders will start now at the 28, their own 28.
So we thought they were going to be at the 40, and look at this. First and 10. Kelly has the snap, looking to his right. Line drive pass incomplete.
Kelly's
Intended
pass
for number 5,
brings up second
Roseman.
down.
And we have a flag. Delay a game on the Roughriders.
Delay a game penalty on the Roughriders. Backs them up 5 more yards.
24-18, 3:18 on the clock. Second down. Kelly has the snap, under pressure. And we have a whistle. They call the play dead. Did you see anything there?
No, I'm a little. They called the play dead, so had to happen pre-snap. And apparently, there's no penalty. There's no flag.
All right, let's try again. Quarterback has the snap, throws it, caught, across the 40, and
Kelly's pass complete.
Jackson Flatner with another catch and run for a first down.
For a first down, penalty marker.
And we have another penalty. Haven't kept track of total penalties thus far, but
the penalty is against the Trojans. Late hit. So personal foul, late hit on the Trojans. We'll tack on 15 here, I believe. Yep, we are. We tacked on 15.
15-yard penalty, Rough Riders first down on the 44.
To the 44-yard line. First and 10. Throws across his body, and it's intercepted by Wilson.
Kelly's pass picked up by Cole Thomas.
Cole Thomas, number 5, pulls it down for the defense.
That'll be a Trojans
Kelly
first
under
down.
immense pressure that time. Dropped back, threw off his back foot, and underthrew the ball, picked off by Cole Thomas. It has taken us a year to play the last 20 seconds.
You know, maybe by the time this game is over, I'll be eligible for the vaccine.
There you go.
Hand off to that trio for a short gain, about 2 yards. That ball goes to Brannon.
Well, I've had both my
Brandon
shots.
on the carry.
I want to encourage everybody to go do that as soon as you can.
Keeney, Tiki, and others in on the stop.
I'll certainly be first in line when I'm eligible.
Clock is finally running.
Under 2.5 minutes remaining now here in the third quarter.
Cyrus Tendick on the carry for the Trojans.
Technic up to
That's good for a couple more. Third down.
33-yard line.
Tendick on the carry that time. Be third down and about 6.
Handoff for a short gain. Well, maybe just back to the line of scrimmage for Brannon. And it'll be fourth down.
Mata Ali and others in on the stop.
You have to wonder if
That brings
anything
up fourth
changes
down.
for the Wilson Trojans here, leading by 6 points. Potentially just kicking the ball away. We know, based on the kickoffs, there should be somebody on the roster that could punt the ball.
We'll see what they're going to do. Clock at 1:10. Left to go in the third. It's fourth down and about 6.
Seems like the offense is going to stay out there regardless of any situation.
And another delay of game on the Trojans. That's going to back them up 5 more.
Delay of game against the Trojans.
Did you catch that? The Trojans called timeout and didn't have one.
It's the first game for everyone, folks.
That's why it's a delay of game. They called timeout and they didn't have one. And they're still going to go for it. 4th and 11.
Handoff, gets to the outside, has some room to run, but runs into a tackler about 4 yards
Cole
shy of the
Thomas on
first
the carry.
down. Cole Thomas unable to convert. And it will be a turnover on downs. Roosevelt will have a chance with under a minute remaining here in the third quarter to regain the lead. They're trailing by 6 points.
For the Trojans, number 75, and that is Henry Nias, came off the field, and he's holding his arm.
Trojans.
Which team was out of timeouts?
Trojans.
Well, they just called a timeout.
Oh, well, remember the call was delay a game, and the referee signaled they called timeout. They didn't have one. Now they just took a timeout. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, you're telling me. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Okay.
Nonetheless, it is a timeout, clearly, called by the Trojans. Roosevelt will have the ball. First and 10 from the 39. Going right to left with 52 seconds remaining.
52 seconds in the third quarter.
Correct.
We've got a quarter more of action left.
It's been a slow go here this evening. Roosevelt going right to left. Low snap. Caught on the right sideline. Few yards after the catch, but short of the first down.
Pass complete.
TJ Jackson on the reception.
Jackson, the senior, number 7.
Second down.
Quarterback. Looks like incomplete on the sideline. No, they're going to say he caught it.
Belly pass complete to TJ Jackson. That's another
End
Roughriders
the
first down.
third quarter
That's the
after
end
the
of 3.
completion to TJ Jackson.
Trojans 24, Roughriders 18. Fourth quarter coming up.
Wilson leading it 24-18. In just a moment, we'll add 12 more minutes on the clock. One more quarter to play here at Wilson High School.
You know, we were talking about whether this was the 2020 season or the 2021 season. I think the question now is this game going to end on Saturday or Sunday?
This game might go into the 2021 season if we're
might.
counting this as 2020.
This has been a learning experience for all of us. We get a chance to everybody learn all of the penalties that are in the high school rule book. Trojans clinging to a 24-18 lead. Trojans had 16 points in the third quarter and held the Roughriders off the scoreboard.
First down for the Roughriders. 19-yard line going left to right. And Marion Kelly in the shotgun, takes the snap, airs it out to his tailback in the flat, who gets around the edge. Good yardage in the corner.
Might have a first down there.
Out to Micah Ryder.
Looks to be enough.
He stopped about the 6-yard line.
Trainer headed out. We have a player down. I think it's a Trojan
Player down for Wilson. I believe you're correct. It's going to be first and goal for the Roughriders. If you're just joining us, Wilson once trailed this game 18-0, but have scored 24 unanswered, although Roosevelt is threatening currently.
If you want to know what the difference is in this game, Roughriders opened up with 3 touchdowns, went for 2-point conversions each time and missed each time. That's where their 18 comes from. The Trojans then turned around and scored 3 touchdowns and converted all 3 of their 2-point conversions to take the 24-18 lead. The difference in this game is 3 two-point conversions.
You're absolutely right. And ironically, Roosevelt could score here and miss any sort of point after attempt. It'd be a tie game despite having an extra touchdown.
Exactly.
All right, we're ready to play with 11:36 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Low snap, quarterback's gonna keep it. Stays on his feet, but finally runs into
Kelly on the
defenders
keeper.
from every angle.
Cyrus Tedrick, that time number 13, did a good job of slowing
Davis
down
before.
Kelly
Another's
by
in on the
grabbing his
stop.
shirt and kind of slowing him from turning the
Brings up
corner,
second down.
allowed defensive help to come up and make the tackle.
Second and goal.
And there's a flag in the end zone.
Delay a game on the Roosevelt.
Delay of game against the Roughriders. That'll back them up 5 yards. Remains second down.
Remains second down. Quarterback throws, caught, inside the 10, 5, touchdown.
Kelly's pass complete to Jackson Flatner.
Jackson Flatner, his
Roughriders
fourth
touchdown.
score of this game. That combination of Kelly to Flatner combining for all 4 touchdowns. We have a tie game, and let's see if they decide to kick or go for 2 points here. Looks to me, based on the personnel, it might be a kick attempt.
(24-24). Point after touchdown coming up here for the Roughriders, and they're going to go for 2. Big play right here. This could
Trying
be
to take the lead is the Roughriders. They've failed on 3 attempts. Pump fake, and then over the middle, it's caught. Roughriders take the 2-point lead.
Try is successful. 2 more points for the Roughriders.
I'm not sure who that was to. It might have been. Let me look here real quick.
A 2-point lead now for the Roughriders.
That might have been Micah Ryder.
The Trojans had scored 24 unanswered before that touchdown by Roosevelt.
Still plenty of time left, 10:34 on the clock.
The kick from Roosevelt, end over end, deep on the far side, and hits the foot of the player. Wisely picked up and just falling on it is the up back for Wilson.
Eddie Kunel covers it up for the Trojans. First down, Trojans.
So plenty of time remaining here in the ball game. 10:36 on the clock. A close game. If you've been with us all day, Lincoln failed to score in the first game of the night.
That was a 13-0 win for Jefferson.
We've seen a lot more scoring here in this ballgame. Another good kick. Takes a bounce. And now goes inside the 10. Picked up there. This could be trouble for the Trojans. And it is.
Now that's 2 straight kickoffs. The Trojans have had trouble fielding the ball.
Alec Peterson on the return. First down, Trojans.
So first down. .809 remaining. Wilson looking at the sideline for the first play of this possession. And a timeout called by Wilson.
Timeout, Trojans.
So at one point in time, we thought they were out of timeouts. That didn't sound quite right to me, but that is what they said on the field. And now 2 timeouts called since then.
Well, I'm just baffled by that because the referee yelled over. Delay a game, they don't have a timeout.
So the Trojan offense led by Parker Feldgore. See if they're up for the challenge here, trailing by a score.
I want to thank our crew today. Brian Johnson on the camera most of the day, Steve Roberts for a while.
Time to roll for Wilson. Handoff finding a hole up the middle. That's going to be a first down and more. That ball goes to number 13, Cyrus Tendick.
Cyrus Tendick on the carry. That's another Trojans first down.
On the PA, the guy who's making all those great calls on the PA, he's actually the academic advisor at Warner Pacific College.
Trouble in the backfield. Roosevelt trying to act like they came up with a loose ball, but I believe just a sack for Feldgore.
By number 14, Ben Weiner.
Number 6.
3 more. .7:14 remaining. Quarterback under center. Looking to his left, throws across his body, has a man. It's incomplete, overthrown. Some contact after the play.
Intended for Cole Thomas, incomplete.
Cole Thomas incomplete.
Brings up third down.
Thomas guarded out there by number 5, DJ Roseman.
Yep, it was 5 on both sides of the ball on that play. And while there was some contact, certainly no ill intent, no flag on the play. Clock stops with 7:09 remaining. They wind up and complete this time to Thomas, and he's near the first down marker.
Pass complete to Thomas. They'll be real close to a first down. Maybe just short.
Haven't signaled to move the chains.
It is short.
4th and inches.
4th and inches upcoming. Big play for the Wilson Trojans, who are looking to come back in this ball game. Converting here would up their percentage points quite a bit. Referees discussing with the Roosevelt sideline.
Bringing out the chains to measure.
Oh, then we're gonna see a measurement.
This will be our second measurement of the game.
Still some discussion on the sideline. I don't think we're going to get a measurement after all.
No, I think they're doing it on the sideline.
Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, they were just trying to get unlinked over there, it looked like.
Okay, they'll put the ball down. They'll stretch the chains. And it is
4th down, 4th and inches.
You can hear the referee yell out, 4th down.
The sideline has 3rd down. I don't believe that's correct. Yeah, it's definitely 4th down.
It is 4th down. They haven't spotted the down marker and flipped it over.
Here we go. All right, big play for the Trojans. Handoff. They're going to get enough.
More than
and
enough.
take it down
across
the 35.
Trojans, 1st down.
Trojans maintained possession with 6:47 on the clock. And the clock, well, it stopped so they can move the chains, I suppose, but I feel like there's been a lot of stoppages. Okay, now we signal to run the clock. Another delay of game, this time on Wilson.
5 yards. Remains 1st down.
So it'll be 1st and 15. And a whistle right at the line of scrimmage.
Gold men on the field on the Roughriders. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
So we go back to the original line of scrimmage after a delay of game and a 12th man on the field. We'll start it all over, 1st down at the original spot.
Yep, that penalty goes against the Roughriders. And what I haven't understood throughout this ball game is the penalty is called and then there's lots of discussion after the fact.
You know, if it's 12 men on the field, all you got to do is count them. If there's 12, there's 12. This is not an interpretation.
Sure. And we know where the ball should be because there's been 5-yard penalties on both sides.
Exactly.
And now we're having some more discussions, and looks like the ball ended up being 5 yards within the original line of scrimmage. Not sure I follow, but nonetheless.
All right.
Good news for Wilson fans.
Over the next week, I promise everyone, I'm going back and read the rule books again. I'm going to bone up on everything.
We got another whistle. I'm going to have nightmares tonight of whistles.
Roughriders take a timeout.
Well, they're going to make sure they only have 11 men on the field next time. I don't know if you picked that up, but I just heard Wilson coaching staff say we're going to be a lot better on the 5th week than we are on the 1st week. And I think that applies to every team in this league.
I think that does.
I think it applies to the referees, and I think it applies to us.
I think it applies to every school in the state. But I've made a promise, I'll keep it. I'm going to read the rule books intensively because there were 2 5-yard offsetting penalties, and yet the ball moved forward. And it's first down.
There may have been a penalty we
missed,
weren't aware of.
Right.
I just heard someone, I think from the Roosevelt sideline, yell, "Finish this game."
Yeah, they yelled 6 minutes and change.
Lots of traffic in the backfield. And that was Cyrus Tendick, the ball carrier, and he really had no chance.
Brought down in the backfield.
For a loss.
Sosiua Tau Malinga. Penalty marker on the play.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 65, Warren.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against
Unsportsmanlike
Wilson.
conduct against the Trojans.
That was Lachlan Stapleton called for the penalty.
Yeah, I didn't see any extracurricular activity or anything, but unsportsmanlike conduct, that's going to back that up.
Now the officials are calling a timeout.
Everybody else is taking a timeout. They might as well take one too.
Why not?
Coach Bennett is out on the field talking to the referees. They signaled to timeout to figure out exactly what's happening because they did call an unsportsmanlike conduct. They haven't marked it off yet.
They're doing that now. I haven't been keeping official tally, but I feel like we should call the Guinness Book of World Records for penalties in a high school football game. Just to get it on their radar. You know, there's only 6 minutes on the clock, but realistically they have a couple hours to get here.
Right. Oh, the referee just said, I signaled timeout because the player is down, and I looked across the field, and there is a Roosevelt player down, number
looks like 15.
Was it 15? That is Dominic
That's what I see,
McDonald.
Dominic McDonald, correct.
Okay. They have marked the penalty off now. It's going to take the ball back to the 25-yard line. They need to get out to the 47, so it'll be 3rd down and 22 after the sack and the 15-yard penalty.
Third down and 22 for the Trojans.
So what was once 1st and 5 after a few different penalties is now 3rd and 22. 6:05 remaining. He gets outside the numbers, 30, 35, 40, across the midfield. That's a first down and more.
Jaden Brannon
with a huge run to make up for all that penalty yardage and more.
He needed 22, he got 32.
An impressive run by Brannon. And they'll move the chains. As Wilson still alive, now in Roosevelt territory, trailing by 8 points.
Brandon, 32 yards on the carry and a great run for the first down.
Here's the snap, more traffic in the backfield, quarterback keeper, and he's going to lose a yard on the play.
With the keeper. Keone Rakemsick on the tackle, second down.
Keone Rakemsick on the tackle.
2nd and 10. A short gain, a little extension there on the end by Kunal.
Eddie Kunal on the carry. Tim Tinnen on the tackle.
Gets across the 40. There's
Brennan
Brennan.
on the carry.
And we have a flag
Eric
at the end of the
Marquez
play.
on the tackle. Flag on the play.
Face mask call against the defense. That's
Face
going to
mask
tack
against
on
the
yardage.
Roughriders.
Okay, so that'll be a first down for Wilson.
That'll be a first down for the Trojans.
Lockwood, go! Lockwood, go!
So they'll tack on that foul for the face mask, move the Trojans closer. Remember, this is an 8-point game, 32-24.
One possession ball game. Trojans have a chance to come back here. Here's a handoff, evades a tackle in the backfield, but he's still going to be dragged down for a loss. The ball carrier was Griffiths, I believe.
Roland Griffiths.
Roland Griffiths on the carry. DJ Roseman with the tackle. Brings up second down.
A loss on the play. It'll be second down and 15. Brandon on the sweep.
He gets outside the numbers again. 10-5, stays on his feet, dives, but short.
Kaden Brannon on the carry.
And we got a player down, a Wilson Trojan down. Stops the clock.
He's pushed out by TJ Jackson.
They'll spot that out of bounds at about, looks to me
That's
like
another
the 7.
Trojans first down.
So it'll be first and goal. 4 minutes on the clock. And if Wilson is able to score here, that 2-point conversion attempt will be crucial in determining the final score of this game. We have another player down on the field.
Looks like, I think, let's see for the Trojans, I think that's
I
Eddie
think it's
Cannell.
Eddie Kunal, yeah. Getting up slowly,
He's up.
but he is putting weight on only one foot.
The right
It's like
foot.
a right leg injury. Dave, I've actually been going to physical therapy myself recently, dealing with a bout of plantar fasciitis.
Oh,
I don't wish that on anyone.
You and I might have to go to physical therapy after this game.
Things are improving, though.
Good. Warm weather is going to help you.
So if you're a sports fan and you ever see somebody limping around, as here's a carry up the middle, trying to get to that goal line, but not quite enough.
Let's see.
It's certainly an injury that can hamper athletes, but from the outside looking in, it doesn't sound like much.
Cyrus Tendrick on that carry.
I'll tell you what, the first time it came up for me, I literally gasped out loud because I was walking down the stairs and I thought I had stepped on like a nail. That's how sharp it felt in the bottom of my foot.
We have a player down, a Wilson player down.
When action resumes, it will be 2nd and goal with Wilson trailing.
I'm not sure now. Maybe that's a Roosevelt player that's down. Yes, I think it is. Both teams have white helmets on. I saw the white helmet.
We've seen so many players slow to get up throughout this ballgame. We just hope they progress throughout the week and don't have anything long-term with regards to injuries. But we mentioned a few times throughout the day, these players didn't have a whole lot of time to practice. Handoff, spinning out of the backfield, trying to get around that outside edge, but does not.
Cyrus Tendrick on the carry.
Tendrick
Gonna lose a couple of
Francis
yards.
Calamafoni and others on the
does
stop.
in fact lose a yard or two, and it will be 3rd down.
Third down.
This time he gets to the outside, dives for the pylon, and he's in.
Jaden Brennan!
Brennan
That's a Trojans touchdown!
in for the score, and it is a 2-point game with 2:59 on the clock here in the 4th quarter. So I mentioned this game might come down to a 2-point conversion attempt, and here it is.
That is the 2nd touchdown run of the night for Brandon. We'll line up for the 2-point conversion.
All right, same formation we've seen all night, and we have a whistle.
And the
Timeout by Roosevelt.
Timeout, Roosevelt.
You know, you take that timeout, then it gives you a chance to see what play they were going to run.
So that will give the Roosevelt coaching staff some time to reconvene. They know how crucial this play could be as far as the result of this game is concerned. These two teams have gone back and forth here in the 2nd half.
We went on the air at 12:30. It's now 8:02. This game started at 4:30. Well, a little bit late. I'm sorry, 4 o'clock. A little bit late.
Yeah, that was the original start time, but definitely started later than that. I think it was closer to 5.
All right, we're set. Point after touchdown attempt, 32-30.
It may all come down to this. Has the snap. Lots of traffic in the backfield. They air it out into the corner. It's caught. We have a tie game.
That's 2 more points for the Trojans.
The pass play to the outside.
Tie game 32-32. 2:59 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Number 21 with the 2-point conversion reception, Davis Duford. He's had a couple of those as well as a touchdown.
Exactly. Duford's been a big player on 2-point conversions.
Kickoff for his right side.
2:59 left to go here.
32-32. And now it comes down to special teams and defense. We've made some jokes, in jest of course, tongue-in-cheek, about this game being long. Well, it would be fitting for it to go into overtime now. Huh, Dave? It's a possibility. Here comes the kickoff. They do decide to kick it deep. Takes a bounce.
Goes out of bounds.
Let's see where they spot it for Roosevelt. Looks like the 36-yard line. Or are we going to kick it again? No, we're not.
They're going to spot the ball, the 41. That's the 36 where it went out, plus the 5-yard penalty for kicking it out of bounds. So I'm sorry. They're going to take the penalty, and they're going to make the Trojans re-kick this.
Well, the ball is still spotted.
Trojans are lined up back to kick it again. But it went out at the 36.
So the referee threw the ball to the sideline, and now they have to go recover another one. I don't quite understand that because it ended up in the same referee's hands. .259 remaining. Roosevelt eager to get the ball back. End over end kick. Caught at the 38. Turns upfield. Across the midfield now. Lots of traffic, but staying on his feet now to the 35, inside the 35, and what a run back by number 7, T.J. Jackson.
Jackson, a nice run back. All the way down into Wilson territory. 2:47 left to go here. In great field position for the Roughriders.
Yeah, if you're Roosevelt, you couldn't have asked for anything better. That kick going out of bounds on the previous attempt proves to be costly.
(32-32), 2:47 to go.
There's the snap, handoff, under pressure. There's a flag. And he's going to be tackled for a significant loss, but we'll see what the flag is.
It looks like a loss of about 10 yards.
Illegal formation on the offense.
They'll decline that penalty.
They do decline.
I didn't see it, so I don't know what the illegal formation was. Maybe not enough men on the line of scrimmage.
A loss of about 5, maybe 6 yards on the previous play. It'll be second down. Quarterback in the shotgun, has it, drops back, looks to his left now, running up the middle, has some room to work with, evades one defender across the 30, now 25, 20, 15, 10, and dragged down from behind. We have a flag on the play at the end of the play.
Jaden Brennan on the stop.
Brennan gets the tackle at the end there. Horse collar tackle.
Kelly on the run gets all that yardage back. The ball spotted at about the 7.
And then you're going to tack on the penalty from there. And this is going to be a very tough ask for the Wilson defense to keep them out of the end zone from here.
2:28 on the clock. We had 13 points in the first game. We've got 64 here in this one, and we're not done.
Not quite.
First and goal.
Quarterback tries to keep it, but nice defensive play there. It looked to me they didn't add any yards for the horse collar. Am I wrong there?
Well, it would have been half the distance.
It didn't seem like they moved it at all. I could be wrong.
Kelly that time tried to step up into the out of the pocket and up to the line of scrimmage.
Roughriders.
Second and goal.
Looks like the ball's at the 6. Might have lost a couple.
Yeah, they must have tacked on the penalty yardage previously. Throw to the far sideline. It's caught, and what do you know?
Pass to Jackson Flatner. Good for
Flatner.
Roughriders touchdown.
Another score. What an incredible game for Jackson Flatner tonight.
Not only that, Kelly with 6 touchdown passes, 5 of them to Flatner.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they lead the league in those categories.
I think that's a safe one, huh?
All right, going for 2 here. So now if you're Wilson, you want a big slap here. That way, if you're able to score, you have 1:27 remaining on the clock. And it's incomplete. No flag on the play. Now, we talked earlier about Wilson timeouts. At one point, we thought they didn't have any timeouts remaining. I'm pretty sure they've called 3 since then. We don't have any official. You can see the scoreboard.
No indication.
No official tally. I don't think Wilson has any timeouts, and I think I really mean it this time.
Think of this. A Wilson touchdown could tie this game up, and it'd come down to an extra point.
1:27 remaining. We know Wilson has been running the ball quite a bit, but with this clock situation, might need to throw it a bit more.
Opening night, the PIL, 70 points on the board.
Thank you for joining us here this evening on Oregon Sports Beat. So we bring you Wilson and Roosevelt. Wilson trailing by a score now with 1:27 remaining on the clock here in the 4th quarter.
An important kickoff here for the Roughriders.
A low line drive kick picked up there at the 15. See what they can do on the return. Nice start across the 30, 35, 40. Dragged down at about the 43-yard line is Brennan.
With the tackle.
So
First down,
57
Trojan.
yards to go to tie the game
Nice
with
return by
1:19.
Jaden Brannon. And good field position for the Trojans to start. First and 10 at the 41.
Make it 41, so 59 yards to go. Can the Wilson Trojans march down the field and at a bare minimum tie this game? I don't believe there are any timeouts remaining. They're going to start with keeping the ball on the ground. That's Brandon. That's a short run. You're going to have to move quick. Get back to the line of scrimmage. They are signaling to perhaps spike the ball. Clock continues to run. And we have a whistle.
That might be delay a game. They might not have got that off in time. Nope.
It's a false start on the
Trojans.
offense.
Backs them up 5 yards.
Yeah, they weren't moving with extreme urgency, but definitely thought they got it off in time. So that is costly. I mean, any amount of yardage lost in this current situation could prove to be fatal.
The Trojans had 12 men on the field, barely got that player off before the snap.
So I mentioned it's tough to keep the ball on the ground in this scenario. Do they decide to throw it? And the quarterback is sacked. This is going to be a problem. And he tries to get the ball back to the referee. Now the ball's loose. 32 seconds remaining. And you could tell Parker Feld-Gore is trying to speed things up, but the referees aren't cooperating.
They've lost 10 seconds here getting organized.
There's the snap. Fakes the handoff, throws it over the middle, and it's incomplete. So that will stop the clock with 11 seconds.
Feld-Gore's pass broken up by Dominique McDonald. Incomplete, brings up 4th down.
Tried to get the ball in the middle. You know, now's about the time maybe for like a hook and ladder play. Roughriders want to stop anything deep.
Why would this game not end with something like that? You hear a whistle right before the snap, and I'm pretty confident I heard the referee say, "My bad."
He did.
They're going to adjust the clock to 7 seconds. There, you hear it again.
My bad. Okay. In all my years of doing football, I've not heard the referee say, "My bad." 11 seconds up on the clock.
Oh, I thought he said 7. It's 11, and then there's a pass that is incomplete. That was 4th down, so this game is over.
First down, Roughriders.
Roughriders are going to have to run a play. But that'll do it here from Wilson High School. The Wilson Trojans gave a valiant effort, but came up 1 score short. If you remember, they were trailing 18-0 at one point in this ball game and scored 24 and unanswered points. But the Roosevelt Roughriders in the 4th quarter able to put a couple scores on the board and regain the lead. And this time it was for good.
You know, I'm almost tempted to make Marion Kelly the MVP of the game with 6 touchdown passes, except 5 of them were to Flatner. So Flatner with 5 TD receptions.
An absolute tremendous game by that duo. Give a ton of credit to Flatner, the receiver, but somebody had to get it to him. That was a Marion Kelly.
The game. Final score, Trojans 32, Roughriders 38.
Roughriders 38,
On
Trojans
behalf of
32.
Wells Athletics, thanks for coming out tonight. Please travel home safely.
All right, that will
Wash
do it on
your
a
hands,
chilly
wear your
evening
mask,
from
and
Wilson
stay
High
safe.
School.
Go
Once again, the
Trojans.
final score, Roosevelt Roughriders improved to 1-0 on this 2021 season. Meanwhile, the Wilson Trojans, with the loss, they are now 0-1. Looking forward to next week's schedule for both of these teams. The Wilson Trojans will stay at home to take on Madison on the 13th. And meanwhile, the Roughriders will be taking on Grant at their home field. We want to thank you for joining us, whether you've been here for this game or with us all day here on OregonSportsBeat.com. For Dave Hall, I'm Shane Downey. We want to thank our director, Ryan Johnson. And once again, the final score, the Rough Riders take it down, 38-32. Have a good night.